A humble thought about translations. I am grateful to God for the dynamic life I've been able to live. Today, I am able to speak and read 3 languages. I am learning my 4th language, Hindi, at the moment. What language would you like to learn? A friend answered, Greek. Why Greek? Well, the Holy Bible contains 66 books, 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament. Some texts were written in Hebrew and some in Greek. Some think we must know Hebrew and Greek in order to understand the Bible fully. But not many of us are too familiar with these 2 languages. Thankfully, the Bible is also one of the most translated books out there. According to Wikipedia, the top 5 best-selling translations are the New International Version, the King James Version, the New Living Translation, the New King James Version, and the English Standard Version. Since the New International Version is the best-selling, we use this version in Shincheonji. During Bible studies, we often read aloud verses together. Having the same version makes this easier. Imagine singing a song in a car together with friends, but one friend sings an American song in German. It might bring confusion, even if it's the same song. To be unified and not get lost in reading the Bible together, we suggest to students to use the NIV 1984 version of this Bible. We don't mind using the King James Version of the Bible either. However, students in the past have had a very difficult time not only understanding, but even just reading the King James Version of the Bible. People say we use the NIV because in Revelation it says, the one who overcomes, instead of conquerors or those who are victorious. They say this version of the Bible is used by Shincheonji only to promote our own narrative. For reference, regarding Revelation chapter 3, verse 21, the NIV 1984 version says, "To him who overcomes, I will give the right to sit with me on my throne, just as I overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne." The Message version says, "Conquerors will sit alongside me at the head table, just as I, having conquered, took the place of honor at the side of my Father. That's my gift to the conquerors." The NLT says, "Those who are victorious will sit with me on my throne, just as I was victorious and sat with my Father on his throne." Let me share one example. For this example, we will be examining the Message version. According to Christian writers, the Message is a version that has been paraphrased, and there are major problems with the Message version. For such reasons, we do not encourage using the Message version. There are many reasons why we choose not to use different versions of the Bible, but the reason is not because they do not support our narrative. For example, the King James Version. "To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, and am set down with my Father in his throne." The NASB. "He who overcomes, I will grant to him to sit down with me on my throne, as I also overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne." The ESV. "The one who conquers, I will grant him to sit with me on my throne, as I also conquered and sat down with my Father on his throne." As you can see, it is not only the NIV Bible that states "the one who overcomes" in different ways for the same verse. If we start using the ESV Bible, where it says "the one who overcomes," then wouldn't we also be accused of doing so because it advances our narrative? Then why do we not use the ESV Bible? Like what I explained, because advancing a narrative is not the reason why we do or do not use a certain translation. We use the NIV because it is readily available as a popular translation, and people can more easily understand it. Rather than assuming, it would be beneficial for all to use the fascinating mind that God has gifted us to think and to reason before slandering or attributing false reasons and claiming to know the motivation behind others' actions. In Proverbs chapter 17, verse 25, 27, and 28, in the NIV 1984 version, it says this: "A foolish son brings grief to his father and bitterness to the one who bore him. A man of knowledge uses words with restraint, and a man of understanding is even-tempered. Even a fool is thought wise if he keeps silent, and discerning if he holds his tongue." I strive to obey these words and be careful with what I think, say, and teach. Amen.